Hello and welcome back to the SA Sports Show. I'm Olivia Mason and I'm here today with David Durant from the North Adelaide Basketball Club. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
We are at the Sports Centre Sublimation Factory where polos and shirts for sports all over Australia are made. Pleasure to be here. So tell us a bit about the club.
Olivia, the club was formed in 1939 by the late great Merv Harris, who is considered one of the fathers of basketball in South Australia. We cater for children from as young as 5 right through to adults, and indeed our Premier League teams are based around adults and probably are a lot of junior kids that have grown up through the club. So we have 3 different levels. We have some pocket rockets who are just tiny kids learning, and then they progress into what we call our Future Stars competition, and then that moves into district basketball as we know it, run by Basketball SA.
Great. And so is playing basketball the only option you offer for people wanting to get involved?
No, there's a few other roles that people can do around the club. Lots of mums and dads get involved in doing either coaching for us, or they manage teams for us, or they just simply volunteer around the place with maintenance or office work that needs to be done. So it is a great community, and that's what I've liked about it for the last 25 years.
And how long have your teams played at your current base in Hillcrest?
Hillcrest was built in 1971, so it's a goodly number of years old, and we moved in there pretty well straight away when basketball started to fragment out into the suburbs, and we've been there ever since. It's a 2-court stadium. It's on council land that was bequeathed. We can't do a lot to it, and so that has prompted this gradual move towards moving out of Hillcrest into something else that's bigger and better. It's 2 courts, it's very old, dear place, but we've just outgrown it.
Yeah. And it sounds like you've been involved for quite some time yourself. So what has been your history in the club?
I played as a junior, so that was probably the late 60s, and then got involved with when our children got involved in 1992, and it's been a continual involvement since then as Vice President of Basketball, as a coach and an administrator within the club. So it's a long and happy association. We now have our 3 children have been through the club. We now have a grandchild that's playing for the club. So he actually constitutes generation 4 of the Durant family and its involvement with North Adelaide Basketball Club.
Wow, what a history. And so tell me about the new complex at Northgate. So that's a new facility you're looking at?
So for about the last 20 years, we've known that the land on which Hillcrest is built has been under some scrutiny by the council in terms of rezoning it and using it for a different purpose. And they also recognise that the stadium has got old and tired. So we've been on a quest for, as I say, about 20 years looking for a new home. There's been a couple of interesting sojourns in that period of time, but in recent times, the local member, Dana Wortley, has taken us under her wing, and she, together with some fantastic councillors from the Port Adelaide Infield Council and Gary Johansson, are very much backing this move to a new site, which is on Hampstead Road at, you would call Northfield or Lightsview now, where the proposal is for a stadium of up to 5 courts to be built to FIBA regulations, and therefore we'll be able to run national championships and all sorts of really good basketball events for South Australia.
And what has been your role in finding and proposing the new complex?
I guess because I've been part of that process for the last 20 years, it was just natural that we got involved in looking and working with council, and we are involved now with meetings between council, Basketball South Australia, and ourselves as a combined group, just as a working party on, so what is this place going to look like? What do we want in it? What does council want in it? They're a very important player, of course. And Dana Wortley has been fantastic to us in getting a grant so that the council could buy the land at Northfield.
Great. And this move must present some opportunity to have some sponsors become involved.
We do have a whole list of great sponsors who have been very, very loyal to us, but we have a 2-court stadium and quite possibly we'll have a 5-court stadium, and that's going to present lots of opportunity for different sponsors to come on board. And not only just at the top level of the sport, but also to help the bottom end of the sport where kids are just learning how to play the game. And our hope is that we have a complete second tier basketball competition running in this new bigger venue.
And where do people go if they want their kids to become involved with the club?
In this day and age, probably the easiest place for them to go is Google and just type in the North Adelaide Basketball Club, and that will take them to a site that is dedicated to the club, and under the sub-menus, and they will find lots of different things about the club, some of our history, where the stadium's located, how and who do you talk to about becoming a member of the North Adelaide Basketball Club. So, yeah, that's the easiest way in this modern age we live in.
Internet era.
It is indeed.
Great. So thanks so much for speaking with us today.
It's a pleasure.
We look forward to following the journey.
Lovely.
Back to you
Thank
guys.
you, Olivia.
Thanks. Back to you guys in the studio.